Hey everyone, it's great to be back for the summer season, getting an episode of the Weekly Rundown in here from Gainesville's historic White Wall before the world ends. A lot's happened since the last episode. Numerous despots around the world have found the absolute power that once defined them now unexpectedly gone. Of course, not all the news of the last few months has had that sort of weight. Speaker Dean Cannon's censoring of the word uterus on the floor of the Florida legislature, leading many legislators to wear these buttons around the Capitol. Donald Trump's skewering at the White House Correspondents' Center and the subsequent collapse of his presidential candidacy. And of course, Friday. My mind up, which seat should I take? It's Friday. There's been a lot of discussion in the media that because there's no clear frontrunner for the 2012 presidential nomination and no face of the party right now, that there's a power vacuum in the Republican Party. And you might expect me to dismiss that as a lot of hot air and speculation, except I own it. This thing behind me is the Republican Party's power vacuum. When the new RNC chair, previous, took over, he sold off a lot of party assets because they're so deep in debt. So I got this on eBay. This is the Republican Party's power vacuum for 2012. Let's go over to the door. So when I bought the vacuum, it came with these cards, which must have been Rent's, whatever his name is, Rent's previous. How do you say his name? Rent's. So when I bought the vacuum, it came with these cards, which must have been Chairman Priebus' sort of way of keeping track of the candidates that were going to be running in 2012. And looking at these, I can see why he sold it. If I had his job, I wouldn't want to look at this. But I figure we can use the power vacuum to make some power rankings. Now, obviously, you can't win the nomination if you're not going to run for it, which does present a problem for the Republicans because some of their strongest candidates aren't running this time, like John Thune, the senator from South Dakota who said he wasn't running earlier this year, Mike Pence, the social conservative who's running for Indiana governor instead, Rick Perry, the charismatic, if you could call it that, governor of Texas, and of course just recently Mike Huckabee, who had been leading many polls of the Republican nomination. Also in the stack, Ronald Reagan, who is unfortunately term limited. The flag goes when you turn it on. That's a nice touch. Rudy Giuliani probably hasn't been relevant since his 2008 strategy of not trying to win any of the early primaries. Newt Gingrich, the former Speaker of the House, racked up controversies and wives during the 1990s. Jimmy McMillan from last year's New York governor race. Of course, the media loves Jimmy McMillan, but his core message as a former member of
the rent is too damn high party
is antithetical to modern Republican orthodoxy because real Americans, like Newt Gingrich, own all 7 of their homes.
As a karate expert, I will not talk about anyone up here.
Yeah, cue the montage for these guys. So we've burned through the completely unlikely nominees with one semi-likely nominee, that's Newt, if it doesn't come out. So let's get down to the top 8. Number 8 is Ron Paul, the Texas Libertarian representative, father of Senator Rand Paul. The fact of the matter is, legalizing drugs, eliminating U.S. military presence abroad, eliminating the Department of Education won't play very well. Number 7 and number 6 are a tie between Sarah Palin and Michelle Bachmann because they are the exact same candidate. Sarah Palin's not sticking. At number 5, it's John Huntsman Jr., the former governor of Utah and the ambassador to China until last month. That does present a problem to him because you might remember who was president last month. That's right, it was Barack Obama. Not exactly the most popular figure in Republican circles at the moment. Newt Gingrich is number 4. He's just got too much baggage. Mitch Daniels is up here at number 3. The general public, for the most part, hasn't heard of him, but he has got strong conservative credentials. The problem is the general public hasn't heard of him. Sarah Palin, you are just not sticking. Stay. Mitt Romney is the most polished candidate of the bunch. Unfortunately for him, but fortunately for the people of Massachusetts, he pursued pragmatic policies to improve their lives, which isn't quite in line with Fox News talking points. Republicans, therefore, need a candidate that's conservative enough to appeal to the base without being outright offensive enough, like Sarah Palin or Michelle Bachmann, to completely upset moderates. Basically, they need somebody conservative but boring enough that you don't notice. That's why number 1 in the 2012 Republican power vacuum is Tim Pawlenty. He can make you fall asleep just by speaking to you for 3 minutes, but he does have conservative credentials, and he's not exciting enough that you care about his flaws. I think the Democrats probably have a Dyson.